video is going to be an update video on my guinea pig's first aid kit. I do get quite a lot of questions about a first aid kit, and I'm a very strong believer that if you have a pet, then you've got to be prepared to have a first aid kit for them. You know, things like ointments and creams and emergency supplies basically, because you can't always get to the vet immediately. And in my own personal experiences, guinea pigs always seem to fall ill at awkward times like weekends, bank holidays, and when the vets are generally closed. So it's always good to have a first aid kit. And I mean, even if you can get them to the vet immediately, it's always good to have a syringe if they're majorly dehydrated or anything like that. You don't want to be waiting, even if your vet is 5 minutes down the road. You want to be able to get some fluid into them straight away and things like that. I do actually have an older version of this video up, and I'll link it in the description if you're interested in seeing how my first aid kit has developed and changed. So there'll be a link in the description box. There'll also be a link at the end of the video if you want to go and check that out. So I'm just going to talk you through what I have in my first aid kit and why I have them, and if I can remember where I got them from. But of course, this is never going to replace a vet. Please always seek a vet for any advice and go to them first out of anything. It's just for emergencies, and I definitely recommend putting together a first aid kit for any of your pets, whether that's a cat, dog, guinea pig, or even a hamster. It's always good to have emergency things handy in case anything ever happens. Okay, so this is my first aid kit. It's just a standard storage box that I got from the range, and this is what I keep everything in. It keeps everything nice and tidy. So I've got a few creams and ointments in the top, and then I've got a few things in the bottom there, and I've also got a few things that don't fit in the box, like things like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything out of the box, lay it all on the table, and then I'll go ahead and show you what they all are. Okay, so I'm going to start off with things that I can't fit into the box, and then move on to the things that are in the top section of the box, and then I'll go ahead and show you what's in the larger part of the first aid kit. So just here, and this top jar is actually empty, but I've kept it to show you guys what it is basically. So first of all, I would highly recommend getting some of these if you have a small animal. They are multivitamin. They're kind of like tablets, they're hay tablets, and your pets will definitely eat them, and it's just, you know, an extra little boost for them. I found that this has really improved my guinea pig's health in general. Their coats are nice and shiny, they're a lot more energetic. I try and feed these as often as I can. I can't unfortunately afford to feed them every single day, but I feed them about, you know, every other day, but I've actually ran out, so I need to get hold of more of these because they're really, really good, and they're by Oxbow, and they're just the multivitamin natural science. I've also got these, and these are digestive support, same kind of thing, and these are also by Oxbow, and these ones I use for Casper. For you older subscribers, you'll know that I had to feed veggies every other day and then alternate with forage for Casper, and I used to do it for the other pigs too because it was easier. But that was because he has a sensitive stomach, you know, like people have sensitive stomachs. But this has really helped him. I now am able to feed veggies every day. It doesn't affect him. He's really completely healthy now thanks to these. These are really great. You can get other variations of these for guinea pigs with different older guinea pigs, for example, like arthritis and things. Some of these are actually proven to improve. So they're the first things, and these don't fit in the box, so I just put these in my drawer. And then another thing that doesn't fit in the box is this. This is a Pro-C probiotic, friendly bacteria and soluble fibre, vitamin C and glucose for digestive support. It's just one of those vitamin C solutions that you can get. It's a powder versions to put on their food. I hate you can also put it in water, but I don't agree with putting vitamin C solutions in water because it can change the flavour of the water, which means they will either not be interested in drinking it, which could cause dehydration, or they'll really enjoy drinking it, and then once you change it back to just normal water, they won't be interested. So whenever I have medicines or anything, I always feed them on their food or with a syringe rather than in the water bottle or water bowl, because I just don't think it's a good idea. But I have this, so it's a powder, so I can put it on their food and everything. I mean, you can do with the liquids as well, but it's just one of those precaution things in case I adopt a guinea pig that's lacking a lot in vitamin C and needs a boost, or if I ever foster pregnant guinea pigs or anything like that. Not that I've got the space or time or money at the minute, but for in the future. It's just a little good thing to have in your first aid kit. So these are the 3 items that I can't fit in my first aid kit, and these are the items that are on the top. So first of all, I have a little tape measure, just handy for measuring your guinea pig, making sure they're nice and healthy, a healthy size. And I do have measuring scales, and they've broke, so I need to get hold of another set of measuring scales. So I like to keep one of these in a measuring scales and do that at least weekly when I'm doing their weekly health checks. And then just at the top, this is something I would recommend having, just a selection of clips and pegs for your first aid kit, because when you get medicines they usually come in little sachets like this, so it's handy to have something where you can clip it closed, because they're a pain if you don't want to be having them drop everywhere and things. So I'd always recommend having some clips handy in your first aid box. I also have a soft brush down here. It's really cute, it's shaped like a guinea pig. This is just to have handy. I actually do have a grooming box, which I'll show you at the end of this video, because I would personally say that grooming is a part of a guinea pig's health. It should be part of their first aid kit, because it keeps them nice and clean and hygienic, so it's part of their health. So I've just got that one handy. I've got another one in my actual grooming box, so I've just got that there. I also have these sachets. I've got 3 sachets of Bio-Lapis, and this is kind of like the sugar water solution. It's just to help with dehydration. So if you've got a pet that's really dehydrated and you put this into their syringe and syringe feed, it will give them immediate energy, whereas water might take a bit longer. It's just like a sugar water solution. At the top, I've got a selection of syringes, a massive thing to have in a first aid box for syringe feeding, for dehydration with water, for medicine, things like that. So I like to have different sizes. I've got a tiny little one that I would use for medicines, and these ones I would use for water or for maybe a mushed up food or anything like that. So I've got 2 larger ones and 1 small one. Down here I've got some different ointments from Gorgeous Guineas, and these are really great to have. They're for different things. I've actually written on the back what they're for, because it just makes life easier. So the first one I've got is Aloe Vera Soothe Gel, and as you can see here, it's for you can use it for pregnant sows. I've written that on there because that's important, because some of them you can't use for pregnant sows, so I've made sure to write that on there. It's for soothing, cooling, to reduce heat, redness in the skin. So I have that one. Then I've got the Super Souffle Cream, and this one is for moisturising, soften hard skin, helps dry skin, and good to use before shampoo or shampooing. Then we got the Quench Lotion, and they're all kind of for similar things, and these are really useful to have with guinea pigs in particular, because they are prone to having sore feet. You've got to be really careful with guinea pigs. So this one's for crusty skin, soothe irritated skin. It's effective around ears and eyes, and you can use 2 to 3 times daily. And then we've got the Perfect Pores Ointment, and this is for sore feet, hard, dry, cracked skin, applied to feet 2 to 3 times a day. And then the last thing that's in the top of the first aid box is this by Beaver. This is a brilliant product to have. Guinea pigs do tend to get hay pokes and things like that, so this is really, really useful. It's cost me about £2 or £3, and I'm not sure if I've uploaded the video yet. I would have mentioned it on Facebook, but Duffy recently had a really bad hay poke, and this, I would have considered it to actually have saved her sight. It soothed her eye really quickly, and it pretty much cured it by the time, of course it happened at the weekend, and by the time we got to the vets, her eye was completely treated and cured. So this is definitely a high recommendation for guinea pigs and rabbits too, because you know they are prone to hay pokes. It does happen, it's a common problem, and you don't want them to have to lose their sight over something really simple like that could be treated. Of course, go to the vet straight away, but in my situation it was at the weekend. Of course it would be at the weekend, and this just cured Duffy. It was just perfect. So that's everything that's in the top of my first aid kit and in the drawer where they can't fit in the first aid kit. Okay, so now I'll show you what's in the bottom section of the first aid kit. So the first thing I have is an insecticidal spray. This is always something good to have in the first aid kit, because mites do come in hay, and it's common to have mites and things, and you've got to be careful. I'm, touch wood, been very lucky. None of my current guinea pigs have ever had mites, so I've been quite lucky, but it's something good to have, because then you can just treat it straight away, and you wouldn't want them to be suffering for more than they should be. So I mean, the minute you notice it, you should be treating it. So this is just something good to have. Then I have a guinea pig vitamin solution. I don't need to talk over this because I've already done it with the powder. It's just a precaution, and that's by Beaver. Up here, this isn't something I typically recommend really, but it's not something I'd say you need in a first aid kit, but it's a great thing to have because with white guinea pigs like Pippin, who can get pee on their fur and you don't want to be washing them more than once or twice a year, it just means you can wipe it off really quickly, and they stay nice and hygienic and clean. And I actually got these from the range and I find them quite useful. Then this is my all-time favourite. This is something I would say go out and get if you don't have. We've been using this on our pets for years, and it's just for minor cuts and scratches. It heals them within days, and I found it to be a lot better than the actual pet specific creams. This is my all-time favourite. I've known a lot of vets to recommend it. I've known a lot of people to use it, and it's just something I would recommend you need in your first aid kit. It's just perfect, and obviously, you know, be precautious with it. Don't put it near their mouth, don't put it near their eyes, near their nose, but it's perfect. It works brilliantly. Bailey recently had it was a minor cut, but it was quite sore and he was scratching it. This healed it within 2 days. It was perfect, so I'd recommend getting one of those. Then another all-time favourite that I'd recommend having, critical care. This is perfect if your pet's in a critical situation. You need to get them energy and food into them. Well, not food, but something into them as quick as possible. This has saved a lot of animals. I've luckily never had to use them, but it's saved a lot of pets, and I've heard so many people saying such good things about these. So I have critical care fine grind and just the normal critical care. And then just at the end here, this is actually what I have to turn around because there's an address on the front, but this is what was used for Duffy when she had her infection. I still have it because I've just put it in my first aid kit. And this is Orny Cure, and it completely cured her and she's fine now, so I just have the remainder of it there. And that's everything that's in the bottom of the kit. And finally I have my grooming kit. There's no reason why this is separate, it just made sense because they couldn't all fit in the first tub. And I actually have this in a first aid kit. I just hang this at the side of one of my little walls because it means it's well out of the way. And it is handy to have them separate because I can then easily grab a brush or anything like that. So in here I have all my grooming supplies apart from a brush that's in the first aid kit and also a brush that's hanging up, which I'll show you in a second. And that's just hanging up because it's a bit too big to fit in here, and it's also useful to be able to grab it. So I'll just pull these out and show you them one by one. So the first thing I have, and this is something I absolutely love, I've only recently bought this, and it's the Pets at Home deodorizing spray, and this has been perfect because it means you don't have to shampoo your pets. You just spray it on, or spray it on a brush and then brush it through, and it completely cleans them up and they smell nice and deodorized as well, which is great. And this is I mean, I love it. I use it quite a lot, and it's just great because you're not putting pets through any stress through washing them. They're not getting really wet. It just gives them a bit of a spray, and it's just great. So that's something I'd recommend. And then I have also the Pets at Home shampoo. I've not tried this yet. I don't think I have. I think I did try a little bit on Pippin, and it smells really nice of what I remember, and it's just a standard shampoo. Then I have a pair of scissors. I need some of these because of course I have Peruvian guinea pigs who need a trim occasionally. I have a comb. This is, I don't use this an awful lot, but it's there really as a precaution in case of mites. And I have some nail clippers, standard ones, and I also have these nail clippers. I don't know why I have two, I just happen to have two. These are just little rabbit ones. And then I have this brush. This is a brush I'd recommend having because it really combs through, especially with long-haired guinea pigs. This is a great brush to have. And that's everything that's in my grooming box. And I also do have this soft bristle brush that I just hang above Dolly, Teacup and Pippin's cage. So that's everything that's in my guinea pig's first aid box, and as I've mentioned quite a lot in this video, I would really recommend having one. I mean, even if it's just a pair of nail clippers, Sudocrem and a insecticidal shampoo and maybe a packet of critical care. I mean, that's enough. I have got quite a lot of first aid kits, but I do have quite a lot of guinea pigs and other pets, so it's always good to have, and I'd recommend having, I mean, the more the better. The more things you've got, the more precautious you'll be in, and the more chance you'll be able to save your pet if any danger occurs. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope it's been useful, and you can always check out my other one. If you want to check out my other one, there'll be a link just after this. So thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye everyone.